Chris and I took Keilana to Seattle Children's because Keilana would not stop vomiting. Chris was holding her and gently rubbing her head, and he noticed that there was a bump on her head, that her fontanelle was bulging out.
When Keilana came in, she was exceptionally sick, and she was, quite frankly, close to death. What she had was a terminal illness. She had a bad brain tumor that was going to kill her.
A brain tumor? I mean, kids aren't supposed to get cancer. I mean, what baby? She's a baby. What babies get brain tumors? It was just something that I'd never heard of, and I was completely just not prepared to deal with something as severe as it was.
I remember holding her and just looking down at her and saying, how can this happen to such a wonderful person, wonderful child?
Keilana needed surgery, first of all. That was the life-saving procedure. Initially, she needed tumor removed. She needed the fluid that was building up in her brain diverted away from her brain. But that was just life-saving. Then to follow, in order for her to survive more than a day, a week, a year, she needed chemotherapy and other adjuvant therapy in order to survive at all.
What are her chances? What's her outlook? And he informed us that based on the size and how long she's probably had it and what type of tumor it was, that she had only about a 10% chance of surviving. But I think for Chris and I, we thought she could be the 10%. She could be on that 10% of those kids who survive and beat it.
I remember thinking to myself, and Holly, well, it doesn't matter what her chances are. It doesn't matter if it's 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million, we're still gonna fight this. And I remember feeling like if there's even a small chance of hope, you know, a small chance is all we need.
We had no idea about her future. We had no idea whether the treatments were working. She was very young. She was only 9 months old. Her body was very fragile. She was getting a lot of infections and having a lot of negative side effects. So we were hoping that her suffering was worth it, that it was going to make an impact.
Keilana should not have been a survivor if one just looked at the statistics. But if you look at the child and you look at the family, there was no way they were going to lose.
As bleak as it was and as trying as it was, I felt like, okay, this is the only place to be and these are the only people to help me get through this.
This took the entire hospital. It would be inaccurate for me to say that it was the surgery that cured her. The surgery may have been life-saving, but that would have only been temporary. It was the oncologist and the therapist and the nurses and the entire brain tumor team here that made the difference between life and death.
I feel so blessed that we live in an area where we have access to Seattle Children's, that Keilana was able to get the care that she did there.
I view them in a light that's unexplainable. I mean, here is a people who gave me a chance to be a father when there was a portion of my life where that might not happen, you know, where my child was going to be taken away from me, and that staff was able to give that back to me and able to give me my daughter back.
I'm happy to say that Keilana is 9 years old. She just finished 3rd grade and she's going to be a 4th grader. She loves school and she loves life. I mean, she is one of the happiest person that I know. She wakes up smiling, so enthusiastic about being here.
Every day she's on a stage. She's the star of the show. She's the rock star. She's the performer in the light.
She'll be the type of kid, if she meets you, she'll say hi. shakes your hand or wants to give you a hug and ask you about how you're doing.
She's gone through things that no person, let alone child, should ever have to endure or ever have to deal with. She deserves to be happy every day of her life, and it's as simple as that. She is an inspiration to me. I mean, she treats every day is a sunny day. There are no cloudy days in her life. I mean, nothing gets her down. She's a pretty amazing kid. She's an inspiration for sure.